right, Seismic Sounds of the Underground. We got a great one for everyone this week. As I'd like to welcome my guest from Denver, melodic-heavy rockers, ABRAMS. I got with me guitarist, vocalist, Zach Amster. Great to chat with you again, Zach. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, Matt. Thanks for having me, man.
Absolutely, man. Well, Zach, dude, let's get into it, man, right away here. The fantastic new release, Blue City. It's your guys' fifth LP out May 24th on Blues Funeral. Got to be using the word in the color blue a lot here, I think, today, man. But yeah, man, I mean, it continues, your guys' ever-evolving sound. I remember last time I interviewed you, talking about the band's last album, In the Dark. I know that was, like you said, he was written during the pandemic, so musically it was pretty dark in nature, obviously, as the title would show. But, now you're going from dark to blue, so I guess things are a little bit on the upward trajectory a bit, huh? I mean, but yeah, man, in all seriousness, I mean, it's obviously, like I said, it's a great record, man. But yeah, in a musical sense, though, in terms of the overall mood, what did you I guess want to aim for to do it differently, if anything, on Blue City than you did on In the Dark?
Yeah, man. Well, thanks for the kind words. I think the goal of most musicians and most bands is to try not to repeat yourself. We're really trying to, with each release, just progress and write something that's new, fresh for us, while still, kind of maintaining our roots, our past influences, our past records.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, I'm a fan in general of mostly, I don't like really happy music, I guess.
Okay.
So, it's not like it's called Blue City. Yeah. But it's still pretty dark.
Mm-hmm.
That's the stuff we kind of like to listen and write naturally. But yeah, we're really proud of it, and we're super excited to get it out to the masses, hopefully.
Yeah. Absolutely. No, I'm sure you will, man. No doubt about it in my mind. But, so the album title, Blue City, I did, I read in the press release that it's really uses a metaphor for a cold and familiar place that keeps people in prison from any drastic new experiences, which to me is definitely I would agree with that a lot. It's a lot of the post, especially pandemic state of mind, I think, for a lot of people, obviously, during that scare, and a lot of people kind of, not to get all super deep into this, but I mean, with the all uncertainty that's going on and everything right now in the world. I mean, so lyrically, I mean, same thing. I mean, you mentioned about, you also talked about, lyrics about, a lot of them revolve around, being scared of change. So essentially sort of that fear of the unknown in a sense. So, I mean, did the inspiration lyrically that come from, I guess, same thing, like a personal place of maybe from what you're observing just in general, or is it a mix of both? Just talk a little bit about what your lyrical approach is on the record.
Yeah, for sure, man. We didn't really go into it thinking like this is going to be a concept record. Mm-hmm. There's always, some overarching themes, within. But I really love for, the listener and the audience to have their own connection with it and the lyrics. But yeah, I mean, I wrote all the lyrics, and it's to me it's a pretty personal piece. Basically like what you were saying, kind of what the press release kind of hints at is, just we get stuck in our own routines of comfort, which is great and all, but that can kind of keep us grounded and keep us from potential new experiences. And personally, I've been in Denver for 17 years now. Mm-hmm. And at the time I was writing a lot of these lyrics, I was probably itching to get out, something like that, try something new. But that's hard to do, right? It's when you've been grounded in the same place and have relationships in the same city, friends, work commitment, stuff like that. Things get harder as you get older, and it's maybe just sharing a little bit of those, kind of frustrations, maybe, or like what ifs, mm-hmm. which I think a lot of people can relate to, in their natural day-to-day life. But that's kind of the overarching theme, really.
Okay, very cool, man. Well, let's talk about, the first track on the album, Tomorrow. Man, what a way to start the record. Great track, and what a killer, finish and outro to that one. I love it, man. Ryan's drums are just relentless. especially at that outro, man. And then the leads are just crazy too. I mean, it's got really like this chill vibe, yet it's still very rocking and aggressive. You know what I mean? It's like a perfect sort of balance. So I feel us on how that track came together, because like I said, it's definitely one of the standouts on the album for sure.
Thanks, man. Yeah, that's a weird song. Because I think when you listen to it at first, you know, from the listener's point of view, it's like, okay, this is, you know, super high energy, heavy fuzzed out intro riff with these kind of weird polyrhythmic vocals over it. And then it goes into this weird, like kind of groovy Jane's Addiction-esque kind of like groove that just drops in tempo. I remember writing that one, and I hate to say it, but like I really try to not, like, when I'm writing, listen to outside, you know, different bands and different music, because it kind of can influence me. But at the time, I was listening to a lot of I don't know, that French, if you're familiar, that French band Slift.
Oh yeah.
Like, holy shit, man, these guys are pumping.
Yeah.
And I was like, this kind of has a little bit of that vibe groove to it, and like, you know, that influenced me a little bit. Yeah, and at the end we wanted to do like a full bore, you know, 2 guitar solos at the same time over a drum solo. And Ryan wrote that part perfectly. Like, you know, I wrote the solo first, and then he kind of like wrote his parts over it to match it. And I think it turned out great. And we kind of have a tendency of starting off records with, you know, kind of a bang, like a more high energy kind of a song. So we thought it'd be a good track to open with. So
yeah, no, it really was. And yeah, speaking of Slift, they saw they're coming over here to the States, so
yeah,
that's going to be pretty cool, man. I'm hoping to catch them too.
Great, man. I haven't seen them live. I think they've only done like 1 US tour, but hopefully this time I'll try and catch them.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Live videos and shit like on KXP, and you know, they just signed with Sub Pop, so yeah, they're kicking ass right now.
Absolutely, man, absolutely. So Firewaltz, obviously, that was your guys' first single. Which I believe I saw that was a song and riff that almost didn't really make the album. Is that true? That's one of those?
Yeah, man. Yeah. I feel like it happens every record. Like, it happened with our last record. Like, you know, I guess mainly we were like jamming it in our practice space, and you know, we recorded a demo and it sounded great on the demo, and like for some reason, like we were just like, like maybe, but like, you know, the way it turned out in the studio after we got the mixes and the mastering back, we were like, holy shit, we better learn how to play this live. But yeah, that happened with our last record too, In the Clouds. I was like, I don't know if we should even like record it. And then, you know, we like to come in with, when we record, like with maybe like 13 songs about, just in case, you know, you never know what magic's going to happen, and what, you know, engineer, producer is going to put their little magic on it. And it happened with Firewaltz, and Blues Funeral, our label, really was pushing for that one as a lead single. And I was like, really? And I'm stoked on it. It's one of my favorites to play now and just jam out to. So yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah, hell yeah. I mean, the time change is great on that. And, you know, I love that. And, yeah, it is kind of funny because that seems to happen with a lot of bands. Sometimes, you know, some of the, you know, a lot of the tracks that become these singles are the ones that are pushed a lot, are ones that, you know, barely made the album, or was one of those like where a lot of bands were like, we don't know if we want this on there. Next thing you know, it's like the biggest song, you know. So I always feel like it's kind of, you know, it's really interesting how that, you know,
it's funny how that works, you know. And a lot of bands might say, like, you know, they might not want like, oh, the label picked these as the singles, but I'm all about it, especially like in the band too, I think, because it's like, you know, we're so just like intertwined within these songs, and especially once you get the final master back, you know, you listen to your record a shit ton, you're sick of it by now by the time it comes out next week. But you know, it's nice for us. I like having that, you know, like third party ear, like those fresh set of ears of like what they think, you know, others might dig, and I'm a fan of all that stuff.
Now, speaking too of guitars, I mean, like I said, you've got a new guitarist, Graham. Yeah, he really is just a whole nother element. I think that wasn't there before. I mean, how'd you find him and get him on board? I think that was a great addition, man.
Really was. Graham was great. He came in at a time where our last guitar player had to bow out with some personal kind of health issues, unfortunately. So he filled in on a tour last summer, yeah, we clicked. I actually played another band with him, a band called Night Fishing, which is kind of like our fun, like little local, like heavy psych kind of improv. We just like shred the whole time. It's fun.
Nice.
But yeah, and so I know he's a great guitar player because I played with him, and he's in another band, a pretty awesome doom band called Green Druid, who's played a lot, and so we've been friends for a while, and like it just was a great fit. Musically, not only is he an awesome guitar player, he's just a fun hang, and that's more than half of it. If we're going to be traveling and stuff, it's like, are we a good fit? For dudes in the van. So that was a big part of it. But Graham's a shit.
Yeah, man. I mean, yeah. Well, and I'm sure that's got to be so, like you said, live for you, as a guy who was originally just the only guitarist in the band, having that extra, having him on hand and just, doing just the dual guitars. That's just got to be, like I said, a lot. Yeah, I guess it takes a little bit off your plate, considering, like you said, you're doing the vocals as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's
for sure, man. Ever since like we kind of switched to the more clean singing route, and I kind of did more of the vocals. We really wanted another guitar player, and doing the 3-piece thing was fun and saved a lot of room, with gear and stuff. But I think just having a bigger wall of sound can help recreate, what we did on the record better. So yeah, I hopefully won't have to go back to a 3-piece anytime soon.
Yeah. Well, I mean, speaking of your vocals too, man, I mean, once again, just like In the Dark, man, super strong. Like you said, I know the last album when you first, was when you first really started focusing, you said mainly on the melodies and the cleaner vocals. So how much more now comfortable, or I'd say maybe even confident now, were you going into recording this record compared to In the Dark, being that you already had that under your belt and you've had the experience, and now you know how to obviously, what to do probably a little more, right?
Yeah, man, a little bit more comfortable. It's always recording is always, to me, just like it's a high pressure situation, man. Like especially on the vocalist, no one's perfect, and no one should ever strive to be perfect. But you book this certain amount of time, and you want to finish, and we finished with maybe an extra day or so. So we did great, and yeah, man. But like I said, it's still always like recording for some reason is just like there's so much pressure. There's a lot of money put into the project, and we traveled to a new producer. We went with Kurt Ballou and Zach Weeks, and in Massachusetts. So kind of having that new energy, that new vibe was also another added kind of like anxiety a little bit. But the first day we got in there, it was so much fun. Those guys were so awesome, and it was an awesome experience. But I think more so on the live front, I'm definitely way more comfortable now. Ever since just putting a lot of work and doing all that clean singing and shit. It's always a work in progress.
Sure, man. Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm interested that you guys, like you said, you picked God City, your recordings there in Salem, Massachusetts. And like you said, Kurt Ballou, Converge, obviously. I mean, I remember last time we talked, I know you're a huge Cave In fan, and I know obviously that's one of their places they recorded. Did that have anything to do with your decision, or is it, I guess, and also because like you said, you wanted to kind of maybe get out of Denver instead of being stuck there, and talk about why you went with God City there.
Yeah, good question, man. So the last couple records, we worked with Dave Otero, fantastic, amazing producer, engineer. You hire him, he's basically, he joins in as like another member of the band, like very vocal, very hands-on, and kind of like I was saying earlier, we're always trying to evolve as a band and try new things, and not just musically, but maybe this time we were talking, I think after tour, because we pretty much had the record written, like let's get this shit on the road, let's figure out how we can record it. And we've always been huge fans of not only Kurt's bands like Converge, but like his recordings are some of the best metal hard rock, heavy shit that's been recorded the past couple of decades.
Yeah, man.
So it's definitely been like a bucket list item that we've really wanted to work with him.
Mm-hmm.
And I hit him up, and he was extremely responsive, excited about the project, and it was really like a right place, right time. We got in like maybe 3 months after I emailed him, because he had like a someone canceled last minute or something. So we were like, hell yeah, we'll take that spot. And
nice.
Yeah, it was just an awesome experience, and coupled with like right place, right time. And we are, as a whole band, where I think that we were thinking like, what, like, because like he does a lot of extreme metal, a little more like heavier shit than us.
Totally.
But I think the closest bands that he's worked with kind of sound similar to us would be like Torch and Cave In.
Okay.
And the Torch 2013 record, Harmonocraft, I think he just mixed it, but that's one of my favorite sounding like records ever. Coupled with the last Cave In record, I think I was like, yeah, I could see us succeeding and with these songs and under his studio and stuff. And yeah, we're really happy with the way it turned out. So yeah, it was a good time.
Yeah, man. Well, between him and, like you said, and Dave Otero, these are two guys, like you said, that mostly do extreme metal.
Yeah.
Right. So it's kind of interesting how it seems to work with you guys pretty well, going with these extreme, metal producers, man. I get to, you kind of caught on to something there, I think,
Yeah, it is funny. Yeah, Dave does like crazy, like, I don't even know the fucking genre that, like,
yeah.
But like insane, just extreme metal. But I think it's kind of like, in both ways, it's like fun for them. Maybe it's like a break from, just mixing super heavy shit to trying something a little different. But still it's all under the same roof, like, the heavy rock genre. But yeah, it's a fun challenge for everyone.
Yeah. Well, and what I think what's really great about, I think it just what also makes you guys, I think, so unique compared to a lot of the bands in the heavy rock genre is that it really reminds me especially this album, listening to Blue City, it reminds me of really like the 90s sort of like those grunge, maybe alternative bands that were radio friendly. And I mean that in a positive way. I'm not saying, obviously, you guys really have like a radio friendly sound, but it's still heavy and keeps its balls. You know what I mean? There's not a ton of pop elements except for the melodies. And I think it's very accessible to like all rock fans in general. I think that's what's really, what's kind of puts you guys really in your own sort of area, is because, like I said, a lot of heavy rock stuff. And like you said, In the Dark to me it had like it was such a big sounding record. It was real, bottom heavy as well. And I think on this record, what Kurt was able to do is really just balance things out, I think, for you guys, and just it just, to me, it sounds like might be a sound that I think maybe you guys got to be just so satisfied with it and just like completely happy with how this all came out, because, like I said, it's really accessible, I would say, to any rock fan in general,
Thanks, man. Yeah. I think that was kind of our goal. That's kind of been our goal ever since, we started off as like our first couple records, as young kids, in our early 20s, like, more punk, sludge metal, like maybe a little bit of noise rock shit in there. And I think the last like maybe 2 or 3 records, we really tried to, hone in on like the clean singing. And I've always been a fan of all that shit, like still, it's pop music, but like if we can still keep that like heavy, edge, I think that kind of stands out. I really don't think there's many bands doing that these days in the underground. And I think there's something for, if you're a fan of heavy rock in general, there's something for you on this record that I think you dig. And kind of talking about, kind of Kurt's little flavor on it, I totally agree with you. I think this kind of sounds more of like closer to like what we would sound like live, maybe a little bit.
Okay.
Not as like heavily like produced like a Dave Otero record or anything. I love the way all those records sounds, don't get me wrong, but I think we just kind of want to do like think less, like, and like mistakes are okay, kind of like leave it on tape, and you're gonna get the best take within the first 1-2 takes and just move on to the next. So Yeah,
Mhm.
we're like I said, we're happy with this new direction that this record's taken us into.
Yeah. Yeah, and the thing is also what I when I'm listening, I mean, I like you were saying, you had a lot, the older records had some sludginess and noise rock and so forth, but those elements are still there. I mean, a song like Ethereal, it's got that noise rocky guitar in it,
Yeah.
that really grinding neureg, which is it's great, but it then mixes in with this really rock, like I said, radio friendly sound. So, like I said, I think that's what really makes you guys unique.
Yeah.
Now, I got, of course, for the fans out there that aren't aware of your band's old drummer obviously happens to also be your twin brother Mike. Now
Yeah.
he's also, obviously, for people that don't know, he's the man behind the kit for the mighty Nebula, and I'm sure you've heard this a million times, but man, I don't think I've ever seen a more ferocious drummer in my life, man.
Mike's a beast, man.
He's a freaking animal. I mean, he treats those drums like it's his bitch, man. I mean,
Yeah,
he really,
dude.
I mean,
You've seen him play.
oh God, yeah, I have, man. Yeah, last year, man.
Oh,
Yeah,
rad. Yeah, he's the shit, man. He's one of my favorite drummers, and yeah, he played on our first record, and we were all went way back when. But yeah, he's moved on to a bunch of cool shit. Like he had played with Nebula, Mono Generator. Now he's playing with he's kind of taken like a crazy turn. He's playing with this really awesome band called the Spoonbenders now. They're like they're like a heavy psych band. There's like a psychedelic rock band. I don't know what these fucking genres are anymore.
I know.
But yeah, dude, they're great. They're actually on tour right now with the Psychedelic Porn Crumpets, playing some big theaters. So yeah, he's still working hard and beating the skins and trying to play with as many cool people as possible. So yeah.
So where did both of you? I mean, you guys get your musical prowess, from being that you're both really pretty outstanding musicians. I mean, is that something you guys obviously grew up family of music, or it's?
Yeah, that's funny. Like my parents are huge music fans, but they can't play anything for shit. So, like all my earliest memory is just like my dad sticking tennis rackets in our hands and like us air guitaring to like, I don't know, like Joshua Tree or some shit. And so yeah, he grew us up on like Neil Young, Springsteen, like U2. He got us into like Nirvana, Pearl Jam, all that like grunge stuff. And we got obsessed as kids. And I got the guitar first because like no one wants their kid to have a drum set, but like
yeah, true.
After like years of begging, he got one, and man, he hit the ground running. And yeah, he beats the shit out of those things, man.
Oh yeah, man. Well, I mean, I
was just gonna say, I call him the more affordable Joey Castillo.
Yeah, there you go. Right. That's a good way to put it, man. Well, it's like, I mean, I've got like two brothers myself that I played in a band with, and it's like, it's obviously not all unicorns and rainbows when it comes to decision making with each other and just in general. But I mean, it definitely, when we played, it definitely grew us closer together forever, usually just because of it, making songs together. I mean, for you guys, just playing together, just the music in general. I mean, what has that done to tighten, even though you guys are twins? I mean, it's as tight as you can get, but did that really tighten your guys' bond together as well, just from playing music together? Like,
yeah, for sure. Yeah, we have that, like, I don't know, especially if you're jamming, like just improvising a lot. We have that thing, like, a lot of, you don't have to be a twin to have it. Like you can just have good chemistry with the band. But that was just a big thing. Like, we kind of just knew where to shift, and it was really easy and fun to write with him. But yeah, man, we like growing up as twins, like, yeah, we beat the shit out of each other. He's my best friend, and he'd say the same about me too. But, we toured a lot as Abrams as a 3-piece with him. And I think it was probably harder on Taylor, our bass player, than anything. Cause like, it's just like, you got him with the brothers, or just like, one day we're having a great time. And it's like two of us, we don't always have the best attitude sometimes if you're playing in the middle of nowhere, Kentucky. And it kind of maybe was tough, but like, yeah, one of these days we always talk. We actually like recorded something this last December. Just like we got together like a couple weeks off during Christmas and shit, and we recorded like 5 songs in a week. And like, I don't know what to do with it. Like both our schedules are kind of busy, but yeah, we still have it. Like we wrote those songs so quick. I put some vocals over it, and it's crazy, like weird, heavy punk shit. Like it's nice. It's like he wants to play fast, and like, if you hear the last couple Abrams records, like we're kind of chilling out a little bit, but like, so like when I get with him, it's like, I better write some fast shit.
Yeah, I'm sure he can't play slow, man. Just, watching him. I mean, I'm sure it's going to drive him nuts if he had to. Yeah. Sure. Man. But so, yeah, anyway, Zach, I'm very, like I said, very excited, man, to see you guys here in San Francisco next month as you're getting ready to hit the road in June. The Parkside, man. 16 dates, it looks like, Southwest, Northwest summer dates here in the States. with Goya. Is this the biggest run that you guys have now done up at this point? Will this be or
No, we used to go out
okay.
for like 4 weeks at a time. Do
Okay.
DIY runs, like, but we're really trying to tour a lot more. We've got this run, which starts June in like the first week of June. So yeah, like it's like 2.5 weeks about, and then we're working on finalizing some dates in September around Desertfest, New York. So we're gonna finally get back out east again, which it's been a minute since we've been out there. So I think we're gonna do like Midwest, East Coast. I'm not sure how long that one's gonna be, but we should have some more info on that in a month or so. But yeah, other than that, we just got a new booking agent, so we just signed on with them this week. So we're really happy with that, and hopefully, we can stay busy through the rest of the year and 2025 too. So yeah.
Very cool. Now, have you noticed just from touring, like you said, you've been, done the 4-week tours and so forth. When you've gone back to certain places, are you noticing, more and more people coming? I'm sure you are. But has it, because a lot of times bands will say these days, like, it's sometimes to them, it's like, is it even worth touring? Because they're obviously sometimes a lot of times losing money on tour. And then it's like, well, they're playing in front of maybe 20 or 30 people some nights. I mean, that's just going to happen. But has it been worth it? Like doing the touring, have you seen definitely, I would say, has it been worth it? Even if you've lost some money, has it at least been worth it in terms of gaining some fans and stuff? Yeah.
Thank God, we haven't lost money yet. We keep it pretty like tight, just the four of us, try and keep it really affordable, like maybe get a couple of hotels, crash on floors, stuff like that. So that shit's tough. Yeah. But, no, it's been good, man. There's definitely, I feel like it kind of depends on the day of the week and everything like that. We definitely have our fun cities that we have a lot of friends in, and those ones like Los Angeles, because I'm kind of from there.
Okay.
Southern California, those are always like fun towns to hit. And also like where we've made friends with like the band we're going on tour with in Goya, like Phoenix has always been awesome to us too. So that shit's fun. But other than that, it's really hit or miss, man. Like we're a small fish in the large pond still, but but we really love it. Like, honestly, like if there's 20 fucking people, like we're still stoked to be there and play. We don't do it full time, obviously, because like financially, it's just like, it's very hard to do these days. Even the bigger bands struggle with shit. But yeah, I mean, you got to have 4 guys with the passion to do it, especially as, people are getting older, getting in relationships and stuff like that. And, have job commitments and stuff. We all 4 want to do it. And, we our goal is to level up each run, right? Each album, each tour, it's just the way we want to do it. We don't want to play in front of less people. But sometimes that shit happens, But you got it. Like I said, we love it, and it's a fun journey to go on at the very least.
Oh yeah, no doubt, man. I knew you were from Southern California. I had a feeling when I talked to you last time, like, you don't sound like you're from Denver. I lived down there for a long time too, so I'm like, you seem like
really?
I saw a Cal guy. I was like, I don't think he's Denver originally. Even I'll find that out.
Get that out here too. Everyone thinks I talk like a Valley girl sometimes or some shit. Do like this Spicoli or whatever, but that rubs off in Denver too. Yeah, I grew up in Orange County.
You did, right? Okay.
Yeah. But I've been out here for, like I said, 17 years.
Wow, nice.
My life, shit.
Yeah.
Blue City, trapped.
There you go. Hey, at least you're saving a lot of money, staying there than living here, man. That's for sure, dude.
Yeah, man. That's just crazy. It's Denver's getting like that though, dude. Like it's been like that the last like 10 years. Not quite like, the Bay, but yeah, shit's not getting cheaper.
No, it isn't, man. No, it isn't. But anyway, let's get back to the music here. Once again, everybody, the mighty ABRAMS, Blue City is the album that comes out May 24th on Bu's Funeral. Zach, man, where should we send our viewers and listeners, man, to keep up with you guys in terms of tour dates, merch, and all that good stuff?
Yeah, for sure. We're most active on Instagram. So our tag is at ABRAMS the band. But we got it all. We try and stay up to date with all that stuff. Facebook, Twitter, whatever it's called, X now. Yeah, those are the main ones. So, but I'd say Instagram is probably the best way to keep in touch with us. We post all our updates there, tour dates, albums. you know, all that stuff.
Fantastic, man. And when the album comes out, what's the best place for people to go buy the album?
Yeah, for sure. So there's 2 vinyl variants that are available on bluesfuneral.com, our record label, but you can also snag those on our Bandcamp too. Abrams Rocks at Abrams Rocks. I don't know, just Abrams Bandcamp, whatever the fuck it is. Like, we have so many different tags for everything, you know, we kind of screwed up. But yeah, our Bandcamp and bluesfuneral.com is the best place to get it. I think it might be available in some stores too. So maybe your local record shop too. So
very cool, man. Fantastic. Well, everyone should go ahead and check it out. It's a great record, Blue City, out May 24th. And Zach, man, appreciate you coming on the chat, man. And yeah, I'll be seeing you here just a couple of weeks when you guys in San Francisco, man.
Yeah, man. See it. We'll finally catch up in person. So
yeah, man. Absolutely. Yeah.